nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the...
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the London Black Knights. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now a handoff looking right, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watching that, Barney. Barney. Detroit. Detroit.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And Robinson with a big catch. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Daquan Jones with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. They'll roll him, and the pressure gets to him again. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Here we go now.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They go play fake. Mahomes sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Mahomes now to throw. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Detroit! Detroit! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Hot! Hot!
They're going to look to throw. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Showed off the footwork, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. In for the score. And the Broncos will extend their lead. An out route there for the score. A quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands. Knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 3rd down, that's Stone. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He's going to wind up and air it out. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cooper was the target there.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
On play action, they'll throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Leopard! Leopard! Here we go now! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Gone, 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 gone.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Space to maneuver at the 40. And Davis with it left side. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back here right after this.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, 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 gone. Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
They'll set up a throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Davis. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Broncos on the move here a bit. Nice plays in succession back-to-back.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone, 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 gone. Over, 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 over.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And Davis has it over the middle. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here.
And this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown to this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
They come out here in the eye.
3-19.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Broncos add on. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mahomes now on first down. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now here's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. Over the middle, complete. It's Watkins. That one goes for 24 yards. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Black 58 rail.
On first down, Mahomes under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, and it's 3rd and short.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
The offense on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got the first down and more past the 40. He's at the 40, past the 20, and he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big-time pick up there on 3rd and 4. 59 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They're losing here in the 3rd quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was a place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Ready, blue 45, blue.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 52 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field.
4 down, check.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Gone!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Broncos on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Green 39! Green 39! Over! Hot!
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Detroit!
He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Watch him now, Barney.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos continue to pour it on. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And touchdown! In for the score. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Butker on for the PAT. Point after, right down the middle. And that will cut this lead down to 25. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He'll buy some time right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
And he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now a handoff here to his running back. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. The Broncos on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hey, 4 down. Gun!
He'll drop to throw. Flush to, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Ace!
Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Gonna let one fly for... He's got a man, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Mahomes now on 1st down, being chased out left. Welcome back now here in London. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And here now the offense heading back out there. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throw right side, caught by Davis. They can't tackle it. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from...
And got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
That one goes for 24 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of the game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Mahomes to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. And this is caught at the 8. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Daquan Mahomes in there to get him. His second sack now of the afternoon.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. Have him protect you. That's right. Get off the train tracks, baby. Get off the train tracks.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Ringo. Let's go deep.
Now Mahomes. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Over the middle, Cooper with it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Hey, boys, got four down.
On third down, it's Stone. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That was a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.